What's going on, guys? It's Cole. We're back again working on the Z, and we got a lot going on today. We're working with a little bit of wiring, and we're hoping for a first start sometime next week. We still got a lot of things to line out before we mount the turbo and before we put the radiator on and things like that. But we can get a quick first start, see if everything's set up right and if it's hitting or not. And if it is, we'll move on from there. We'll mount the turbo, we'll mount the feed and drain lines and the radiator, and it should be good to go. But the wiring's almost done. Just got a few more things to do. And today we're going to be wiring the starter, some fuel injectors, just a few miscellaneous things like that. So let's get to it. We got it up on the lift right now. We're going to raise it up. We're going to check out some starter wires and some sensors down there, and we'll see where we get at. Alright, I'll talk to you guys in a minute. Here's what we're dealing with on top here. We got a mess of wiring harness, and yeah, we're trying to get that lined out. We got a couple sensors here we got to connect, and trying to get cleaned up a bit. We got to lay the wiring harness out and make it a bit more organized. But beyond that, we're going to hit the starter, see if we can get it wired first, and then we'll lay the harness out depending on that. To find out which injector plugs go where. They're colored differently, and each one has obviously a different location to where it goes. So we'll get to it. We're going to raise it up. So we got it up on the lift here, and we're going to take a quick look at it underneath, see if we got some things we can do while we're down here. We got the wire on for the starter. We got the starter wired. It needs a 12 volt constant from the battery, and then it needs another one from the harness. It'll activate your ignition switch, you know, when you hit the starter button, of course. So you can see the one coming from the harness right there. I have it hooked into a push button start, and then it grounds to the block, and then you may be able to see a thicker wire. It runs up to the battery, and that's how you get the starter to bump over. There's that thicker red wire that runs all the way up, and there's a couple of sensors back there we need to get, and yeah. So let's check out over here. We got this remote mount filter I need to mount up before we start it, but that's another day. It comes right off the pan, and got some AN fittings. I guess I'm going to relocate it right there. Seems like the best spot for the situation. Yeah, and you can see the mounts and the headers right there. Alright, so let's get to checking some things out down here. Alright, we've got some wiring set up for a quick test run. See if it'll fire. We got our computer sitting right here. And then we have to hook up a battery with some constant 12 volts, and then the ignition switch where we'll turn it over with the actual starter. So yeah, we got it all wired up. Finally figured out which injector plugs went where. They're all color coded to know which cylinder they go to. And just a few things left. We got to hook up a fuel line and get some oil in it, and hook up an oil filter to it, and then we'll see where we end up at. We got it all wired up pretty much just for the test start. See if it'll fire, and if it will, we'll move on. I don't see a reason why it shouldn't. You know, just got to make it a bit more pretty next time. But here's how it sits right now, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, so we've pretty much done for the day, and all we did was really get some wiring done, and we got not that much left for it to actually start and run, but for it to be finished, you know, it's never ending. But as far as it running for the first time, we need some oil, we need some fuel, and we got the wiring pretty well done for the test start. But as far as everything else goes, I think it's pretty well ready to start. We just need to get the fuel lines hooked up and get the oil in it and the oil filter on, and it ought to fire. And I'll get the first start video here in I'm guessing about a week or so. if not a week, maybe this weekend. I don't know, we'll see. But it's ready for the first start finally. So we'll keep you updated. Don't forget to check out the past videos of the car, moving it up, and then we'll have some future videos on the car for sure. And yeah, that's about it.